What's up guys, JV2017 here with the fourth part of my complete King's Fall raid guide, and today I'm going to show you how to defeat the Warpriest, which is the first boss in the King's Fall raid. Now the biggest issue that I encountered right when the raid was released with this fight had to do with firepower. We just weren't dealing enough damage. And I'm going to stick with the raid recommendation and say that you need to be a minimum of 290 light for every guardian to take this guy down. In reality, this fight is a piece of cake once your team's average light level gets past 295. So keep that in mind, it'll get a lot easier if you're having trouble with this now. Alright, let's get into it. So the goal of this fight, of course, is to kill the Warpriest by stepping on glyphs and using an aura to deal damage, because the Warpriest, like Crota, it reminds me of Crota, is immune otherwise. You have to use an aura in order to actually deal damage to this boss. As with most encounters in this raid, you'll need groups, so split your raid team into 3 groups of 2. So that's 2 guardians on the left side, 2 guardians in the middle, and then 2 guardians on the right side, and position yourselves near the glyphs. Now, within each of these groups, 1 guardian needs to be designated as being on glyph duty, and we'll talk about exactly what that means, but just make sure that you keep the same person on glyph duty. Don't switch around, it'll make things a lot easier this way. Now let's get into talking about duties. So there's 3 duties that I'm going to talk about. The first one is call out duty, which sounds like Call of Duty, but not related. Call out duty. So 1 guardian is responsible for looking at the backside of these giant tablets in order to communicate the glyph order, the glyph sequence that everyone else needs to step on. I'll elaborate on this in a little bit, but this person needs to have good communication skills, and really that also means a good mic. If this person has like a low volume mic, or you just can't understand what they're saying, that's not good. That's going to get people confused. Make sure this person knows how to speak up and has a good mic. Also, this person could be on the left or the right side, but with my teams, I always had them on the left. So that means on the left side, if you're doing it like I did, you'll have 1 person on call out duty and the other, of course, is on glyph duty. Speaking of which, let's talk about glyph duty. So this guardian, there's 1 in each group, like I just said, is responsible for stepping on the glyphs, and also they're responsible for possibly getting the aura, which I'm also about to talk about. But key thing here, if you're on glyph duty on one of those teams, you need to follow instructions first off. Second off, remember to stay on your glyph. When you step on your glyph, stay on it. Do not step off until someone gets the aura. Just keep that in mind. Okay, let's talk about aura duty. So the aura is the aura of the initiate, and it is given to the last guardian to step on the glyph. So it's automatically given to this person every time. It's not exactly predictable, but you'll know from the order from the call out duty person, you'll know if you're going to get the aura or not, because you'll be the last one to step on that glyph. So everybody that's on glyph duty needs to be prepared to get this aura. You may or may not get it, but you need to know what you're doing and you need to be prepared. Okay, we got the duties down. Now let's talk mechanics. This is the rotation you'll have every single time in terms of mechanics. You'll have the glyph sequence, which you start by killing the hallowed knights on each side. Then you have the damage phase, where you actually get to damage the Warpriest. Then you have the Oculus phase, where he'll try to kill you. It's an insta-kill kind of phase. We'll talk about that. You'll have to hide behind each tablet. And then you repeat this rotation over and over, and you have to kill him on the 4th try. So keep that in the back of your mind. You have to kill him on the 4th try, or else you won't be able to kill him at all. Let's dive deeper into each of those sequences. First off is the glyph sequence. Remember, you got to kill the hallowed knights first, and then you'll get a little thing in the bottom left that says glyph sequence has started. And so the call out duty person has to go around from behind and call out the order in which your glyph duty people have to step on their glyphs, and they have to step on them in sequence. And remember what I said, stay on the glyph if you're on glyph duty. If you don't, you'll get out of order. It'll say sequence has been disrupted or something of that nature, and then you'll have to redo it, and this is really frustrating. It'll kill you very quickly. So you'll know when you're doing this wrong, and you'll know when you're doing it right. And it's a pretty simple sequence once you know what you're doing. This part is super important to remember. The last person to step on a glyph in sequence will always get the aura. And once you get the aura, it goes into the damage phase. And in this phase, everyone stands in the aura with the aura holder and shoots the Warpriest, while the aura holder shoots adds. So let me repeat that. 5 guardians shoot the Warpriest. The aura holder does not shoot the Warpriest at all. In fact, the aura holder is supposed to shoot adds in a very specific way. Let me talk about that right now. So the aura of the initiate will have 5 stacks, and each stack will last for about 10 seconds. And around the last 2 seconds, the aura holder, not anyone else, needs to shoot an add. And once they shoot an add, it will consume one of those stacks and start back at 10 seconds. And it'll take a stack, like I just said, and it'll repeat until you complete that. So you really, as the aura holder, you want to start looking for adds around 5 seconds of the current stack. You don't even need to pay attention to the Warpriest. You need to look for adds, and that also means every other guardian should not be worrying about adds. They should be killing the Warpriest and putting damage on the Warpriest. The aura holder is the only one who needs to worry about adds, so save those acolytes, especially for the aura holder. So really, you're supposed to, in theory, go through all 5 stacks, but it doesn't happen like that. Sometimes the aura holder will not get an add, they just won't find one. They'll die. In that case, the aura is passed on to a random person, I believe. I'm not sure on that, but I believe that's how it works. But essentially, as the aura holder, you need to kill adds and keep that aura of the initiate up, so you're giving your other guardians enough time to put a ton of damage into the Warpriest. And you can do a ton of damage. I've heard of one group putting in 75% damage in one aura round, which is crazy. So really just focus on the adds as the aura holder, and as everyone else, just shoot the Warpriest. Use your snipers, your heavies, just put as much damage as possible into the Warpriest. Once that aura runs out, either by going through all 5 stacks, or maybe some mistake happened, the Oculus phase will come out, and this is where you need to hide behind these giant tablets where the callout guy is reading the glyph sequence from, in order to avoid the death from this giant blinding light. And the thing is, you have around 3 seconds after the aura goes down in order to find a tablet and hide behind it, and that's not a lot of time. So really, it's all about positioning really for the aura holder as well. That's something else that the aura holder needs to keep in mind. Position yourself reasonably close to tablets so you can have your other teammates find a tablet to hide behind in a reasonable amount of time. So once the Oculus goes off, it will destroy the current tablet that you guys were hiding behind. And what that means is the next go around, you'll have to use remaining tablets in order to hide behind them. Otherwise, if you keep going to the middle, for instance, you'll just die because you won't be hiding behind a tablet. That tablet will be destroyed. So once again, the aura holder needs to position him or herself behind the tablet. So that means you may need to go to the right side, the left side, whatever side, in order to accomplish that. So once your group has successfully hidden behind a tablet, you will return to your previous positions that we were in the beginning of this encounter, and rinse and repeat. Do the same thing over and over and over again. Your 4th attempt is your last attempt because there are only 3 tablets to hide behind. So that means you're going to get killed by the Oculus no matter what if you don't have a tablet to hide behind. So once again, quick reminder, the Oculus phase, you need to use those remaining tablets. If you use the middle one, it's not going to work for the 2nd try, the 3rd try. You have to go to the right side, the left side, and on and on. And quick reminder again to the aura holder, you need to position yourself behind those tablets to make those 3 seconds really easy for the rest of your guardians. I'm going to share a few side notes with you guys, my observations from this fight. First off, a Defender Titan is super useful because they can use weapons of light during the damage phase. It really speeds up the damage you can deal to the Warpriest, and you can get them done in 2 attempts theoretically. One of those teams, like I said, got 75% damage in 1 attempt. They use weapons of light, so that's a really good idea if you have Titans on your team. So some of the drops you can get from the Warpriest are the Ghost. You can get the Raid Fusion Rifle, Sniper, and Machine Gun, and Rocket Launcher, and of course you'll get Moldering Shards as well. So I hope you learned something new from this video, and if you did, remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Also, keep subscribed to my channel. Stay tuned for continued content. Of course, the rest of my guide is going to be uploaded soon. I finally beat Oryx last night, so I'm going to work on that guide as well and get it to you guys as soon as possible. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.